What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be cleaning my Sig P365. As you see, it is clear. Just went to the range, put about 100 rounds through it, and we'll see how dirty it is. Alright, as you see, the breakdown is very easy. Put this here for now. It's that simple, guys. So normally you wouldn't have to clean a gun after every 100 rounds, but I clean this one every time I go to the range, and it is a carry gun, so I keep it nice and clean. Right here, just using a regular, it's like a heavy-duty paper towel used for cars mostly, but $2 or $3 at Walmart, you have yourself a nice little rag to use. So it's just off the barrel right there, so not too bad. Check out the slide here. Just gonna be wiping down all the surfaces. Don't have to go too crazy because it was recently cleaned, but just give it a nice little kind of pat down here. Get everything out of there. Not too bad. So it does build up a little bit, but as you can see, not that much. And that's pretty much all you gotta do to wipe it down, nice and easy. Anywhere like these rails here, you just want to make sure that you are getting everything out of there, especially with the carry guns. You want to make sure that there's nothing in there. So as you can see, we are getting a little bit. What I'll usually do right in the mag well, stick that through. Pull it through. Alright, there we go. You don't have to do it really hard, just nice and easy. And as you can see, it's pretty dirty, but that was just 100 rounds. So if you're shooting 2, 3, 4, 500 rounds through it at a time, or every couple sessions, it will get some buildup on it over time. All right. So usually what I'll do now is just kind of give it a light little brush, like over here, just a dry brush first. Just kind of get everything out of there. Okay, not too bad. Make sure you're getting your ejector. Just kind of stay away from the firing pin. Just like a little light brush around it is fine. area. Just make sure there's no loose pieces. Don't have to go very hard. It's nice and easy. Kind of get every piece of the gun. So now you've done that, usually what I'll do, I did have this square bottle one. It's not bad, but something like this is just a little bit better. You get more precision and know where you're gonna actually put the lubrication and cleaning. So. Brand new bottle, hold on. Maybe I'll cut that out, probably won't. You can see my stuff there. I'm just gonna put just a little bit. Don't need a whole lot. A lot of people will say that, you know, over lubricating a firearm is a bad thing. I don't believe that, but still don't want it all over your hands, all over your grip. It just makes it harder to handle. Just a little bit. So I don't even know if you can see that. There we go. Alright, so we got it all kind of on there. We're just gonna let it sit for a minute. Here, we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. So this I'll use spray for. And usually anywhere where metal touches metal, you're gonna wanna make sure that you get it pretty good. Probably overdid it a little bit there, but we'll just wipe it down in a minute. Normally just put a little bit on your spring, kind of wipe it down. Just get it all over there, there you go. Alright, so now I actually use some pads here. So I like to let that kind of soak for a minute or two while I clean the barrel. And that way I can break down any carbon, things like that, build up. You just don't want to get that in the gun. And then usually I'll go 2-3 times to the barrel, just like that, nice and easy. Okay, this is what I do with mine. Feed it through, and I kind of bunch it up a little bit. And then I use a dry cloth to the barrel. As you see, there's some decent buildup there. Just do that 2 or 3 times, maybe more, I guess. But not a ton. It was just 100 rounds, but a little bit in there. As you see, barrel is clear, nice and clean. No debris in there, so. Alright, usually what I'll do is just put a little bit either on my hand, just a tiny bit on the barrel. Just kind of rub it around with my hands. Just want it to be lubricated. The barrel does move, so anybody that hasn't shot a handgun before, you don't want to drown it, but just a little bit so that it can move smoothly. Just get all the little parts there. There you go. Alright, so now we'll do go back here. And this, we're just going to give it one little spray. Okay, so there's not a ton on there, just enough to lubricate the inside of the barrel. As you see, picking up a little bit more. Alright, looks pretty good to me. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually go back to brush here one more time. And normally I wouldn't clean a gun this much, like this intensely, but it is a carry, so I will take my time with it, kind of make sure that every little piece is covered. This might be a little overkill, but when I fire this thing, I want it to shoot, so if I ever have to pull that trigger, it's ready to go. Alright, and as you see, that is pretty overly lubricated in my opinion, so what we'll do is we'll actually just take one of these towels here. We're just gonna kind of pat it down, clean it out, get it almost dry, and then we'll actually add lubrication. So all my other guns I don't really do this with as much, but this gun I do carry every day, so this one does get a little bit more use out of it, and it also is just something that I want to make sure is going to work when I go to shoot it. So. just gonna give this a quick little rub down here. Nothing crazy. What you'll see is there is oil getting on the frame. That's okay. It's actually what the alcohol pad is for. Wouldn't recommend using it on your slide, but this frame, it's fine. And usually I'll just take my time. Can be done a lot quicker, usually is. With this gun, I'll take my time. With other ones, you know, I'd say 5 minutes. You could have this pretty much cleaned and reassembled, so it just makes me feel a little bit better. So these cloths work really well too. As you see, did clean that up pretty good, but we'll hit it again with the alcohol pad here in a second. So go through, kind of. Also too, these are gun cleaning, I guess, Q-tips, but you can get just regular Q-tips. I just happen to like it a little bit more. You know, a couple bucks on Amazon. I think 10 bucks you can get a whole cleaning kit for, you know, maybe 600 pads and, you know, 300 of these things, so it's really not bad. And I'm just gonna go around every little piece of the gun. And it probably is a little overkill, but at the end of the day, just like to take care of it, make sure that it's gonna take care of me if I need it, so. And as you can see, there's still quite a bit of buildup. And it just helps get those little places that you wouldn't be able to, just rubbing it down, so. All right, just kind of pat it down a little bit more. No, it probably doesn't look it, but that is much drier than before. And like I said, I really don't believe you can really over lubricate a gun. I mean, it's more just that it's gonna get on your grip. You're gonna be sliding around a little bit. You know, when you pull a trigger, you will feel a little bit more of the gun sliding. So personally, I don't love that, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And I'm really just kind of getting excess oil right now. So, last time I cleaned it, I didn't have one of like the needle nose bottles. I just had the spray, so unfortunately the aim on this isn't great, but you know, work with what you got. So. Okay. So this slide is good. And usually I shoot maybe once, twice a month, so not a ton. This one is actually a newer gun that I got, and it's only got about 300 rounds through it. Not a ton, but again, it's small with my job, small, compact. Can't really have anything too big, so having something like this, even, yeah, there's like oil from before. Something like this that's easily concealable is a nice thing to have. So for me, it's great. There's other situations where I might carry something different, but for the most part, this one's going to be seeing majority of my my time. So. So now what we're gonna do is just kind of actually lubricate the gun. So just a little bit. You could either use a Q-tip and just kind of rub it along the edges, something like that. But what I'm gonna do, because we have this needle nose right here, just a tiny bit. Just a drop right there, maybe a drop right here, and then maybe one down here. Down there, nothing too crazy. Again, on the other side, just gonna do the same thing. Drop right here, drop right there, drop in the back, and then just kind of let it fall down. All right, so this here, I'm just gonna get the top of it, just a little bit. Same thing over here. Nice thing about this is you do have a easy way to, you know, kind of put it where you want it. So really not a hard thing to do. And then what I'm gonna do is just put a tiny bit on this Q-tip, so I'll show you what you could do. I've done this many times, or just maybe a little bit more. Or you're just gonna kind of wet the end of it, and you can just kind of rub it along here. Make sure you get everything. You can even put a few drops on before, and just kind of coat it there. Get it all around. Anywhere where metal touches metal, you're just gonna really make sure it's well lubed. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a machine, so just want to make sure that all the pieces are well lubed and are able to move when you need them to. So, and plus with this producing, you know, smoke, everything like that, debris, all that kind of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, this CLP is going to break down all that stuff, loosen it up for you. So even if it's not perfect, you'll at least have that kind of working for you, where it's loosening things up. So, but that's really all you got to do. Again, we'll just do the same thing right over here. Oh, sorry, just got my voice back. So, kinda at least. So just a little bit in there. It doesn't need to be everywhere. It will kind of move down the rail. So. This will just kind of get some of that excess as well. So. And then just I'll do a little coat right here. Sides. Probably isn't necessary, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'd rather over lubricate it than under lube it. And I used to really not clean my guns very often, started having some problems. And with this gun, 300 rounds through it now, not a single malfunction. Doesn't mean I haven't got a little bit of oil on me occasionally, but you know, it is what it is. I can deal with that. So, all right. So now all we gotta do is reassemble this and clean up a little bit, get some of that oil off. I will put a tiny bit right here too, just a little bit. See, as you can see, it's just like the tiniest little bit. So first thing we'll do, put the barrel in. Alright. Alright, the spring is in. As you can see, good to go. I know people are watching this being like, oh my god, what is this guy doing? I think that most of my life as well. So, no, I'm just playing. But like I said, this is going to get carried and we are going to clean this up. So, you know, you won't even really notice. So. Alright, with this gun, you put it back, top it up, it's good to go. As you see, like, this isn't going to do anything but kind of protect the coat at the end of the day. It's not really a big deal. Obviously, you don't want to be grabbing a slippery slide, so we are going to clean that up. And also this grip, but do that in just 1 second. The last thing I usually do is break down my magazine. As you can see, I do have a couple here. These ones I don't really carry. I carry these two the most. With this one actually being the most, it's a 12 rounder versus a standard 10. So it just gives you a little bit more, and overall size difference really is not much. So there you go. You can see right there that it's not a whole lot of difference, and doesn't really print it as a very small gun. So most of the time I will carry the 12, but occasionally I do carry a 10 just for certain situations, certain clothing, things like that, when I really want a deep concealment. So usually what I'll do is I'll just grab like one of these. I guess I could even use one of these and just kind of pop it out. Now we're going with the metal. Okay, see, wasn't bad. Maybe I should have used this instead, but my hands will feel that tomorrow. All right, and as you see, it's very easy, pops off. This, you can put a little bit of CLP right here, kind of wipe it down. Doesn't need a whole lot. At the end of the day, it's really just gonna kind of wipe out the inside of the mag. Well, the magazine, sorry. Take the brush. It does have a little bit of CLP on it, which Sig actually says to put a little bit of CLP in your magazine, which is kind of weird, but hey, maybe I've been doing it wrong all these years. So just really kind of getting around the edges. Can take something like this. As you see, it is fairly clean on the inside, but you could take something, push it through. Doesn't need to be super clean, but you know, I would say you want to clean it every 500 rounds or so. Really get in there, clean it up. You know, if you're gonna put the CLP on your spring, that's fine. You just do a tiny little bit, just add it to your finger. Doesn't need to be a whole lot, but just a tiny little bit. Add it right there. I'm not gonna wipe it down. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on there, and we should be good. And then right here, I'll just clean off a little bit because it is a little dirty. So I'm just gonna wipe it. Sig actually tells you to lube the inside of the magazine as well, which is kind of weird, but again, maybe I've been doing it wrong. So I'll just reassemble this. One thing about this magazine, the 380, is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to have this little back plate here that you can see, and I mean, to carry a 380, in my opinion, one of the better 380s. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, I just don't love it. So alright, kind of wipe this off real quick. Probably should edit that out. Still won't, but. Redemption, thank God. A little embarrassing. But there you go. Now just wipe this down. And it will come off, but just not great. And last thing I do is an alcohol pad, which people will definitely be like, what the heck is this guy doing? But don't really care. So just kind of wipe it down. Alcohol's nice because it dries and it doesn't leave any type of residue, but just kind of get all in there anywhere you're gonna grip the gun, and clean it up. So next time you go to use it, it's not sliding around and all nasty. So and that's it.